I'm Scott Alan Miller. This is my life living in Leon, Nicaragua. Happy Sunday morning, everyone. I'm doing an extra video today for a couple of reasons. One, we are just getting ready to head out to go to the video game festival at the Leon Baseball Stadium. So if you're watching this on Sunday morning and you haven't gotten up and headed out there, jump on in and head on over. We've got a lot of people going. It's going to be very fun. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I know there's some tournaments. So my daughter is going to be competing. We've got some of our friends' kids are competing, and a whole bunch of us are going to hang out. And Marcela is running a hot dog stand with her daughter. So go check everybody out, say hi to everyone. I think mostly it's going to be a time for the community to just hang out and spend some time together, but it's going to be interesting seeing the local video game community, and I will be filming out there. So we're just getting ready to get in the car by the time this is posting, but 9:30, the doors open. It's going till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We do have a website with very little information. I'm just posting everything here, but there is a website, and just go out to the baseball stadium. That is the big one as you come into Leon from Managua. On the left, the brand new one. And even if you're only coming out and getting to see the baseball stadium, if you're not a baseball fan, which why? Come out and support your local teams. But regardless, this is your chance to see the baseball stadium without the big crowds of the baseball game. So it's just under $1.50 to get in, 50 Cordoba. So come on out and just see that, or just come out and support the community as well. I did want to talk. We had someone on the WhatsApp group today using, and we've done videos about why you cannot use ChatGPT, and I implore everyone, please stop looking at ChatGPT or any AI, and especially then repeating, well, AI told me, right? All the rest of us here is, I read gibberish, and I'm repeating it for some reason. So you know it's gibberish. One, don't go look at it. It's very misleading, right? And this shows why scams work so well. When scammers carefully craft ways to manipulate you, and they think through what you want to know, and they know the context, and they have all this human intelligence to think about how to take advantage of your emotions, your lack of knowledge, or your misconceptions, or your fears. AI doesn't have those powers. It's just regurgitating a series of words that it thinks sounds good together. That's what it does. And they're very clear. This is not some secret thing. This is not some conspiracy. The companies that make these AIs, they say, we make products that simply repeat what people want to hear, because that's what people pay for. They don't pay for honesty. They don't pay for facts. They don't pay for research. They pay to be told what they want to hear. That's the only thing that makes money on the large scale. And AI is struggling to pay for itself as it is. So they can't do anything else. They don't have the capability of doing anything. They're forced to do this. So AI users have to be aware. There are situations where you want to get what you want to hear, right? I'm writing a novel. Well, what you want to hear is the only purpose of a novel, right? So great. That's a really good design of that system. But I want to research rules and regulations for something, or costs of something, or analyze a business idea, or anything like that. Nothing could be worse than a yes man that's just repeating anything it thinks is going to make you satisfied with a service. That is the worst possible thing. Why would you do that? You could just make things up yourself. But it shows how much people are being manipulated and tricked into allowing what is essentially a scam, but one that they're triggering themselves. They're actually going to AI and saying, please misinform me so that I'm less knowledgeable about the situation and I'm more likely to make bad decisions. That people are choosing to go out and intentionally be misinformed in this way really shows how easily scammers have it and why they're so effective. Because if such a huge percentage, and Bryce is a great example, right? He can't get over this ChatGPT addiction. He knows the information he's getting is completely wrong. He knows it's been wrong every single time. He knows every single time we explain why that makes no sense, and why looking something up is going to be wrong, doesn't have the possibility of having the answer, because ChatGPT has to pull it from somewhere, and it doesn't have a source to pull it from. So even if it wanted to give you the right answer, it couldn't, but it doesn't want to. So it's double layers of major problems. And even knowing all that, he'll keep going and getting misinformation and coming back and sounding like a complete lunatic and saying, well, but ChatGPT said, and we're like, but that's fake. Why would you repeat? Why would you admit to having used that? It's crazy, right? But he does it every time, and eventually he got banned, not for that reason, but he should have, because it's just, saying you've used ChatGPT is basically like saying I've intentionally wasted everyone's time, right? But so today there was a case where someone tried it for the first time, and it's so manipulative that it's not always obvious just how completely garbage its responses are. And this one really stood out. So because you don't need any information, other than, you know, basic math or measurements or things like that to know what's going on. And so the question was, someone tried to tell them that the cost of water in some town was quite high, and they quoted the amount that they were billing by the cubic meter. And so for those who aren't aware, never thought about how big a cubic meter is, a cubic meter is a little bit bigger than about 260 gallons of water, right? So when we talk about like people who have gallons of water brought on the truck, we talk about having maybe as much as, like, we have a really large household. We have trucks bringing in 40 gallons per month. And this is a place that's measuring water in cubic meters. So that would be many of those truckloads for us. But you use a lot more in your shower, your lawn, or your kitchen than you do drinking water. So the number should be larger than that. But it's to give you some idea of scale. So they measure in cubic meters, which is about 260 gallons. And we know that a normal person uses about 3,000 to 4,000 gallons per month, right? So that's you can do the math and see how incredibly tiny that is in cubic meters, just a few cubic meters per person per month. And they're paying this intensely tiny amount of money in Cordoba per cubic meter, right? It's you know, far under $1, right? It's just several cents per cubic meter. And ChatGPT came back and somehow came up with this measurement of over $500. And when you went back and analyzed ChatGPT, it was trying to produce an amount of water that would be adequate for a village, quite literally the use of a village. And then that didn't produce enough expense. And so it took the currency at many times off, and it just nowhere close. And even when they asked, this is an important thing you never do. You never ask ChatGPT or any AI to explain itself, because it doesn't have self-evaluation capability. This is something, if you study how to use AI, this is an important tool not to do, because it actually encourages it to do bad things. So it actually can lower the quality of your results. But importantly, it cannot self-evaluate. So it doesn't have the concept of itself. So if you ask it why it made mistakes or why it lied to you, it's going to once again lie to you. It'll just say whatever you want to hear or what it thinks you want to hear. So it's not going to give you good guidance. So the first thing that it gave is, so it's easy to do the math, right? You got a family of 4, you're each going to use 3,000 gallons of water. You do the math. We came out to, it's about $2.65 if you're using a lot of water, is basically what the price came out to for a family of 4 for a month at this water rate. And a lot of people use more water than that. We'll see lots of people hitting, you know, $7, $8 for a household during a month. But apparently this is a really cheap place, it seems like. And so all these different aspects of this, every single aspect of it was completely hallucinations. None of it was based on real water usage. None of it was based on real measurements. None of it was based on real currency. It just threw things out that it thought would sound sensational to get people excited about what they heard. And then when he went back and asked it for an explanation of what it did, it went back and lied about what it did, came up with completely garbage excuses that made no sense whatsoever, and gave another completely misleading answer, but one that it tried to explain away, which of course it lied about that. So literally every single thing it gave, the amount of water someone uses, the amount measurement is, how much it actually said, oh, you gave me the wrong currency, so I changed it. That was in the second one, right? It literally said the inputs are wrong, so I changed them. And so the whole thing is just complete garbage, and it still was in hundreds of dollars. It was literally quoting overpaying for a small village of water supply instead of giving an actual, and it had all the math. All it had to do was look up, which even AI, if used properly, could give the right information. If you broke it down and controlled it and watched over it and said, how much do you get per person? What is the translation? What is the currency? You did that, you would pretty easily catch if there was going to be a problem. But in doing this, it just didn't do the math. It couldn't do not one piece. When you put it all together into a single thing, it just made up whatever it thought you would want to hear multiple times. And so it was just such an outstanding, because you don't need to have any knowledge of Nicaragua. You don't have to have any knowledge of anything. You can just look up, you're given the starter number. You can look up pretty easily how much water someone uses in a month. Those are widely available numbers, 3,000 to 4,000 gallons. It's a, you know, you can't get wrong looking up what the gallons in a cubic meter is. And then it's just a matter of math, right? So that AI struggles with this means it's useless, right? This is the situation where it would most likely be able to succeed. And even with this, the degree to which it was not even able to get one single component correct, even ones that just had to regurgitate basic knowledge, was unbelievable. So that is why you never, ever open up ChatGPT or one of these AI programs and ever attempt anything like this, because you are just asking to scam yourself, is quite literally what's happening. So I've got to get going. This is a short one this morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to come out and see us at the Video Game Things. Don't forget to not open ChatGPT and ask travel and information questions. You will get misled. Bad things will happen to you. And I will see all of you tomorrow.